Hello and welcome to Local Matters. I'm your host, Amanda Marini Road. It is the week of love. Yes, Valentine's Day is amongst us. And with me today is Shannon Ferguson, the Love Hawk, a blogger, an author, and so much more. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to meet you. Now, the Love Hawk, this is a really cool, catchy name or title. Why the Love Hawk? Or why do you write about love?
I still work in marketing, and I was working in sports marketing actually, in the digital realm, and I was always giving advice about relationships to all my friends. I was like the go-to person, and someone just suggested 4 years ago, they said, why don't you start a blog? And I did, and it caught on, and I guess people really could relate to what I was writing because I write pretty like raw and, I just write stuff that people understand.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a universal topic, the topic of love. It can be transcendent among so many different topics, not just in relationships that you have, but in the universe
Of
itself.
course.
What's your background? What did you start out in school?
So I have degrees in communication studies and psychology. So I always found that I do a lot of research on relationships or like nonverbal communication and different things in that area. It was just always something that interested me. And then I have a postgrad in broadcast journalism. So, always writing and stuff was always something I wanted to do. And I just put it all together and came up with the Love Hawk.
The Love Hawk, yeah, I checked out your blog, and it was really cool to read about true love. Actually, was the one article I was reading, and that was on the Huffington Post.
Right.
And so, it is the week of love. It is Valentine's Day. So, what can you tell me? Just a few things about true love, maybe.
I think that true love is sometimes it's a little overrated, and sometimes people might have true love right in front of them and they might not even be able to notice it. Sometimes it's just about being comfortable with someone and finding making yourself better because of that person. And I think society and media makes us think that it has to be so much more, that it has to be super passionate all the time, and that you should definitely have that passion, but sometimes we get caught up and we think if we don't have that passion, then it's not love. But really, sometimes it's about taking that step back and kind of seeing who that person makes you. And I think if that person can make you love yourself, then that could be actual true love. So
Interesting. Yeah, so it makes me feel like you're saying, it's also about having humility and being open and honest about who you are, and also about recognizing that we need to build each other up and draw out each other's strengths, and ultimately I think that, if we can foster that within one another, love will grow.
of course.
So it's an interesting topic because I think that's also self-love is definitely a topic that's come up in the media, and it's just very on trend right now with many different movements. You want to talk a little bit about self-love and how that's important?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that sometimes in today's world, it's hard to love yourself, right? And to actually love yourself and not just say I love myself and have that ego around it, right? So, and I think Valentine's Day can make people, some people who are single can make them kind of reflect on it negatively, and they can feel low and feel sad because they're alone on Valentine's Day. But I think instead of maybe finding those negative feelings, it should be about realizing that you actually can love yourself. So, and if you're single on Valentine's Day, it's okay. I mean, order yourself a heart-shaped pizza and kill it.
Absolutely. And you know what? I mean, just because you don't have a partner doesn't mean exactly that you can't have love. The love you can share for yourself will move through the community, and it will transcend just your being. I think ultimately how you interact with the world is ever so much more important. And you know what? There's seniors, and there's adults, and there's teens. There's lots of people that are alone. There are lots of people with, but we have to just be grateful for the fact that we have today.
Exactly. That's how I see it, and that's kind of what I like to portray in my writing and stuff. And sometimes we're not with the people that we do love. Sometimes there, circumstance gets in the way, or,
Yeah.
Sometimes the world happens and life happens, and, we can't always get what we want, but sometimes we get what we need.
Yeah, that's great. Well, I want to thank you for coming on, Shannon. I'm sure we'll have you again in the future.
Awesome. Yeah, no, thank you so much, and happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks. Same to you. Happy Valentine's.